What's going on, YouTube? This is BoxingWave. All right, so look, I'm gonna be going live in a little while, but I felt like doing a quick prediction video, so I'm just gonna run through the main fights, and we're gonna go from there. All right. Right now, the zone is actually on right now as I'm speaking, but I'm gonna give a prediction anyway, even though the fight is coming up soon. David Avenesian against Josh Kelly. This is gonna be on the zone. The card, I believe, started at 2 p.m. Eastern, but they're still on a pre-fight, so there's more fights to go. I'm sure we got at least a couple hours before the main fight starts. Now, later on, we have Adrian Broner against Giovanni Santiago. All right, that's going to be on Showtime. I believe that card starts at 9 p.m. Eastern. I will be covering that fight, but the priority is the ESPN card, which is going to be showing Oscar Valdez against Miguel Berchelt. That is the much bigger fight, and that is going to be priority. So I know both of those fights are going to be going on at the same time. I believe ESPN's main card start at 10 p.m., but the pre-fights start around 7 p.m. All right. So at some point, I'll be covering both live, but the priority is the Oscar Valdez Berchelt fight. So if Broner is fighting and Valdez and Berchelt is still fighting, I'm going to be commentating that round by round instead of the Broner fight. All right. Now, David Avenesian against Josh Kelly. The way I see it is this fight can be a real snoozer. It can be an okay fight or it can be a real snoozer. I think both fighters have a lot to prove here. Okay, I think the pressure is on for both fighters because a lot of people feel that Josh Kelly is some kind of hype job, which I really can't argue that. I think he's very good. He was a great amateur, and he's very talented. Okay, great reflexes, good defense, quick hands, very flashy, likes to showboat a lot. The problem is he stepped up in the last couple of fights and it really didn't look impressive. I remember watching a Ray Robinson fight. I was there at the Garden when he fought Ray Robinson, when Joshua lost to Andy Ruiz in the first fight. And he didn't look impressive there, but Ray Robinson could kind of do that. All right, we seen him do it against Velasquez as well. But Josh Kelly, the problem with him is I think he needs to really prove, he needs to really bring the fight and let his hands go tonight against David Avenesian. Avenesian, on the other hand, I expect him to be somewhat of the aggressor. All right, because Josh Kelly is a kind of guy, like, he likes to pop shot a lot, he likes to counter, and he likes to showboat, you know. But David Avenesian, I think he's going to be looking to pressure Josh. I think he's going to be looking to counter Josh. All right, and the thing is, if Josh is able to keep him on the end of this jab, because Josh is a taller guy, I believe he's a longer guy. If he is able to keep Avenesian on the end of his jab and keep the distance, it could be a real snooze fest. All right. But I think Avenesian really needs to bring the fight to him. And I think Josh should definitely try to, you know, like, give us a good fight, give us a good performance, look good. And I think the winner of this fight, if whoever looks impressive, at least winning, their name will be mentioned in the top welterweights. You know, I mean, maybe not like the top 5 guys or anything like that. Not like with Spence and Crawford and stuff. But they would push themselves closer to being a top contender and possibly getting, you know, a top title fight. You know, I don't know. But I didn't look at the rankings. But both of them have a lot to prove. You know, because David Avenesian, he's been in there. The few guys that he's been in there, the top guys he's been in there. Yeah, he beat an older Shane Mosley. But outside of that, he was stopped by Velasquez. Who else did he lose to? He lost to Lamont Peterson years ago, but he hasn't really had a real big fight, like a big win, you know? So I think this win, if he is to win, will probably be his biggest win. All right. But, yeah, Josh Kelly's still undefeated. He just needs to perform, you know, and prove to the people. All right. So let's move on. Adrian Broner against Santiago. I'm going to keep it real short and sweet. I'm not really that interested in the fight. All right. I wish Broner well. I know he's having a lot of financial issues. I know this fight was originally supposed to be at 140, and these guys are fighting at welterweight now. I saw the weigh-in. Broner weighed in about at 146, and his opponent Santiago weighed in at, I don't know, 145. These guys are fighting as welterweights, which is cool. Like, it's not a big deal. It's just that I question Broner's mental thoughts right now going into this fight. Is he just in it for the bag? Again, he's having financial issues. Does he really want to box anymore? Does he have any drive or motivation? You know, I'm sure his hardcore fans are still waiting for him to turn it around and prove that he is as good as he was when he was a prospect. I think a lot of it is hype. I've come to the reality that Broner is who he is. You know, I mean, he's a very talented fighter, but I think he lacks drive. And I think also when he's in the ring, he just doesn't, his volume has always been too low. It's just too low, you know, and I think he just does just enough to either win a fight, have a draw. He just does enough, just enough. I haven't seen him really push himself in a while, you know. He's good, he's talented, but he's not no top fighter. And I think if he actually was a welterweight, he would lose a lot more. I think he needs to stay at 140 for sure. You know, some people even say 135. I think he's too big for 135 now, but at 140, if he was to stop gaining so much weight and going on these layoffs and he actually commit himself to the sport, I think he would be better and he wouldn't be fighting guys like Santiago. All right. Santiago, undefeated Puerto Rican fighter, hasn't fought outside of Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. There's not really much there. He's undefeated and everything. I saw a little bit of his clips online. There's nothing that he's bringing that would make me think he has a chance against Broner. All right. Broner hasn't fought in 2 years. He hasn't fought since he lost to Pacquiao. I don't remember the last time. A few times I seen him. Pac-Man. He fought Pac-Man. He fought Jesse Vargas to a draw. He didn't look that good. I don't remember the last time I know he lost to Mikey Garcia. He just hasn't looked good in a long time to me, you know. So I mean, I'm expecting him to win tonight. Hopefully, you know, I'm expecting him to maybe fight a Keith Thurman at some point, maybe a Danny Garcia. You know, 2 fights that I think was always possible to make. But outside of that, you know, Regis Prograis, I heard that recently. He's not going to fight Regis Prograis, bro. He's not going to do it. He's just not. He's just not. It's not going to do it. It's not worth the risk. And Prograis beat him up out here. It's over, you know, it's over. So I just don't think that's going to happen. But I could see a Thurman fight because they could find a way to make that a pay-per-view with all the talking those two are going to do. And I can see, what's the other fighter I named? Danny Garcia, you know, because that's a fight that always could have happened, you know, and we always was kind of interested in that fight years back. All right. So anyway, let's see, who else do we have? Now, this is my second favorite fight of the night. Dominic Breazeale against Otto Wallin. Out of all the fights today, I'm really interested in this fight. And I think this is like the most 50-50 fight out of all of the fights tonight. I think this is the most 50-50 fight. I'm sorry, I didn't even give you a prediction. I actually believe that I think Kelly's going to pull off the win against David Avenesian. I think he's going to pull off a decision win. I think the both of them really need to perform, but I feel like Kelly's gonna win, but it's not gonna be in a way where we're gonna be really impressed with him. You know, hopefully he does, but I'm rooting for Josh Kelly. Like, I want him to win. David Avenesian, I don't really have nothing against him. It's just that I'm not really a fan of him neither. But Josh Kelly, I hope he finds a way to pull it off, but I hope he looks impressive. But I really doubt it. I feel like people are still going to have questions even after this fight. All right. All right, and of course I think Broner's gonna win. But Breazeale and Wallin, I don't know with that one. I don't know. I think that is the most 50-50 out of all of the fights tonight. Hardest one to call. Breazeale, I didn't even look him. Let me look him up real quick. I meant to do that and see what, because I don't remember seeing him fight since he lost to Wilder. Okay, so maybe he has. No, he hasn't. All right, and that was back in 2019. Now, Otto Wallin fought Tyson Fury in between the first Wilder Fury fight and the second Wilder Fury fight. So both of these guys took losses. Wallin lost to Tyson Fury, and Breazeale went and got knocked out by Wilder. But the thing is, Wallin looked impressive against Tyson Fury. All right, gave him a really tough fight. He actually gave Fury a tougher fight than Wilder did in a rematch, which is crazy. So, and then he went on to stop Travis Kaufman. I didn't see that fight, but I'm looking at BoxRec. I didn't see that fight. But that's a pretty decent stoppage to have. Dominic Breazeale has been inactive for almost 2 years now. He hasn't fought since May 2019, and he was knocked out by Wilder in that fight. All right, that's the fight that I actually went to with my pops. So look, this is the deal. Wallin is definitely the fresher fighter. I think when it comes to points, I can see him winning on points. All right, I think he's the better boxer between the two. All right, I think he has a nice rhythm. I like his technique. I like his combination. I didn't know much about him before the Tyson Fury fight, but it definitely made me pay attention. I did look up a little bit. They didn't have much online to give us going into that fight, but he definitely impressed against Tyson Fury. I could see him winning on points. I could see him winning just because Breazeale has been inactive. But Breazeale definitely got the resume, for sure. Breazeale has been in there with Joshua, Wilder, Carlos Negron, Eric Molina, Izo Gano, which was a great fight. That was a great war. Like, that was one of the best fights that year. Amir Mansour, stopped him because of the tongue. I think he ripped his tongue. Like, Breazeale definitely got the resume. Yeah, he lost to Wilder, got knocked out by Joshua, but still, he's got the experience professionally. It's just that he's been very inactive, and this is why it's so hard to call. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not particularly looking for, rooting for anyone here. I just want a good fight, but I don't know where this fight is gonna go. But I don't know, man. I don't like the fact that, if I had a gun to my head, man, and if I had to pick a winner, I think I would probably go with Breazeale just because he's more like, I've seen him be damaged heavy and still continue and go on and fight and pull out wins where he was losing and stuff. I mean, he does punch very hard. I would definitely give him the power advantage between the two. But I don't like the fact that he's been inactive for almost 2 years. Now, I saw the weigh-in. Neither one of them really looked unusual. They both weighed in and around. I think Breazeale was around 260. Wallin was around 240. So they didn't really look any, they both look fine. It's just that Breazeale has been out of the ring for almost 2 years, man. And he got knocked out bad, He got knocked out bad. And the last one he got before that was with Carlos Negron. I actually went to that fight too. I'm not sure what card that was. I think that was Jamal Charlo, Dennis Hogan. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember seeing that fight live. And no, I'm bugging. That was 2018. I'm looking at it. So he really hasn't been active, man. Because if I'm looking at his BoxRec, in 2017 he fought Izu and Eric Molina. 2018 he fought Carlos Negron a year after that. So And then after that, he fought Deontay Wilder and got knocked out in the first round. So I really unsure of Breazeale right now. I think this is a fight he can definitely lose. I kind of consider him on the tail end of the top 10, even with the knockout. But he hasn't been active, man. And, you know, when I say top 10, tail end or maybe top 12, you know, top 13, somewhere around there. No further than 13. But Breazeale, I just don't know right now. I'm going to go with Otto Wallin. I think he's going to win, man. I think he's going to win. It's just how he might have to really prove in this fight how durable he is. Because Breazeale is tough. He hits hard. And even though he's been stopped a couple of times, he is a pretty durable guy, you know. And he's gotten knocked around a lot and took the shots and brought the fight back to his opposition. So I'm highly excited for this fight. I'm looking to do commentary definitely on that fight over any of the undercards on the other card. But let's talk about the main fight, the biggest fight of the day. Championship fight at 130. Oscar Valdez moving up from 126. Well, he's already moved up. Had a couple fights. Let me pull him up real quick. Oscar Valdez against Berchelt, which is the best fight, big fight of the day. Two Mexican fighters, two guys that are very exciting fighters. Great fight, great matchup. Can't wait to see it. Oh man, where do I begin? All right, so this is gonna be on ESPN tonight. All right. I know they said the main card starts at 10 p.m. They got a loaded card. ESPN actually has the best card, I think, between the three. But ESPN, let's talk about this fight. Oscar Valdez, I've been watching him for a while, and I can tell you that definitely noticed the difference between him and over in the years. He's definitely changed a bit. I know when I first started watching him, like maybe a little bit before, maybe around the Chris Avalos fight, maybe a little bit before that, I noticed a lot more back then. Like, I noticed that he was a better defensive fighter, you know? I thought he was just sharper, you know? I thought that he was just slipping shots, countering better. I just thought he was better overall as a boxer. Somewhere around the Scott Quigg fight, where that fight was just the end of straight up brawl. Sorry for the background noise. Scott Quigg, that fight, it turned into a brawler. Like, after that fight, that was a great fight. But after that fight, he brawled it out every single fight. It just seemed like it. You know? Still undefeated. He still won fights. But has not really looked that impressive to me since then. All right? He's getting the job done. I remember watching the Adam Lopez fight. And this dude was schooling. He was schooling Oscar Valdez. And I don't know, man. At that point, I just said, I don't know if Oscar really has it to move up and fight Berchelt, because the talks of that was happening even back then. And Shakur Stevenson's name was being brought up at that time too. And I was just like, man, I don't know. Oscar just doesn't look the same. He's taken a lot of punishment in his fights. He's gone to war after war. Defensively, I don't see it there anymore, man. I mean, yes, he won the Adam Lopez fight, but Adam was just schooling him. You know, the feints and just the timing was just better. Yeah, he got caught. He ended up losing the fight. But I'll never forget that fight. And you going up to fight Miguel Berchelt, who to me is the king at 130. No, he is. Yeah, there are other champions there. There's other superstars there. But I think Miguel Berchelt at 130 is the top dog at 130. All right. I know Stevenson just got there, and I love Stevenson. I think he's one of the most talented fighters out there on the come up. You got Tank Davis, you know, of course. But Berchelt has been in a lot of fights himself. And that that Jason Sosa fight, which was his last fight, I believe. Let me just check real quick. Oh no, he had another fight in between that. It was a no contact. Oh, I forgot about that fight. But anyway, Jason Sosa, he fought him in 2019 before the pandemic, close to the end of the year. And Jason Sosa, I'm not sitting here and act like Jason Sosa is this kind of elite fighter or anything, but Jason Sosa has been in there with so many fighters, and it's a good way to gauge how good a fighter is by fighting Jason Sosa because he's been in there with Nicholas Walters, Lomachenko. So Berchelt kind of like dusted him off. Like he destroyed Jason Sosa. And I remember talking about that fight, leading to fight. I don't know if I was doing live commentary or not, but dude, this guy just destroyed Jason Sosa. Like he was no one. You know? Being in there, look, go down the line. Miguel Roman, Francisco Vargas. These are all Takashi Miura. He's fought these guys. These are top guys at 130. You know, he's not pulling guys up from 126 like Tank Davis has done. He hasn't been playing it safe. Miguel Berchelt is the real thing. And fighting Oscar Valdez, to me, I believe he's a taller guy. I know he's 5'7". I know he's a longer guy. I know he has a long reach. I'm not sure of how much taller than Oscar Valdez. I mean, I saw the weigh-in. Doesn't look that much taller. But he is taller. Okay. They have Valdez at 5'5". I just feel like Berchelt has all of the advantage on paper. I think he's the better boxer. I think defensively, he's better. Okay? I think he punches harder. I think he's lighter on his feet, too. I think he's better at controlling the distance. And I think he has a better resume, too. You know, I think he has a better resume. I mean, Oscar Valdez was impressive at 126, but at 130, Berchelt is a different beast. He's been in there, been to wars, and he's come out on top. You know, only has one loss from like back in the day. Not even a relevant loss. So, look, Berchelt, I think what Berchelt is going to do is control the range. You know, try to keep Oscar at the end of his jab. He's the taller guy, the longer reach. He's going to keep him on the end of his jab. And at some points, he's going to explode. He's going to ambush him. If he has Oscar hurt, he's just going to ambush him and try to get him out of there. He's going to throw flurries. He's going to throw his combinations. You know, I think for Valdez, what he needs to do is I think he needs to apply the pressure, try to close the gap, slip shots, get in, counter. But he's going to have a tough time doing that against Berchelt because Berchelt has great legs and he moves well. He's very light on his feet, and that's part of his defense. And I think Berchelt, I think what he would need to do is try to catch Berchelt while exchanging. You know, try to catch him in between those combinations and counter him and possibly hurt him. Valdez is definitely capable of hurting Berchelt. Berchelt has been hurt before, okay? But it's going to be dangerous because you got to worry about Berchelt hurting you at the same time, countering you, all right? I have Berchelt winning this one by stoppage. I think it's just going to be too much for Oscar Valdez. I don't think it's a 50-50 fight, okay? I'm thinking it's more like I'm definitely got Berchelt. I don't know what the odds are or anything like that, but I'm thinking like 60-40, 65-35. Like I think Berchelt, I think Berchelt is gonna win this one. I think he should win it. I think Oscar has a chance of winning, but I think Berchelt is a different beast, man. He's on a different level to me. All right, so we'll see what happens tonight. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Kelly winning. I got Kelly winning. I got Broner winning. He's only there to dust off some of the rust. And I have I'm gonna go with Wallin. I think that's a 50-50 for me. That's one I was unsure of, but I'm going for Wallin strictly mainly because of the inactivity of Breazeale. I don't like it. Inactivity and knockout. recent knockout of Wilder, and I am going for Berchelt by stoppage. Say by 6 rounds. All right, within six. Okay. All right. So that's my picks for the day. I will be jumping online to cover the Josh Kelly fight. All right, not this entire card. And then at some point, I'll jump back online to cover the ESPN and the Showtime card. All right, so I'll see you guys soon. Peace.